And we are live.
What's up, geeks and gamers? I'm Patrick with Archives Media, and this is Archives Podcast, episode 18. Today we're going to be talking about the Toyota Smart City, college graduations, and gym etiquette. We're going to be playing some Am I the Asshole later, so that's going to be cool too.
All right. I'm your boy Mizzix, as always.
I am the Great Wenzel.
Let's get into it.
All right.
Hit me with it.
We've all been to the gym, right? At least once in our
At
lifetime.
least once. I've been to the gym. I used to go to the gym a lot. As I can tell, I got a double chin going on if I do this.
Try to avoid gym at all costs.
See, if you get a beard, it kind of hides the double chin.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
So
I might have to do that.
Okay, so I went to the gym the other day, and I spent some time on the treadmill. But the dude next to me was on his phone. He was talking to his mom.
So he was also on the treadmill?
Yes.
Because it's probably okay.
Well, hold on. Is it the treadmill? Is he just walking on a treadmill?
Or is he just like standing?
Or is it like an elliptical or like a bicycle?
He's walking on the treadmill. He has his mom on speakerphone, and they're having a heated debate over something stupid.
Oh, it was on speaker?
Yeah, that's different.
I had my headphones in, and I could still hear them talking.
Okay.
Wow, okay.
Well, what kind of headphones do you have? Maybe you have shitty headphones.
I have some Beats.
Okay, so you do have shitty headphones.
Bears.
I have some of those wireless Beat ones you plug into your ears, and there's a stupid gray cable that connects them.
Oh, it's not the over-the-ear kind either.
No, the ones that you
well,
can,
I could understand why you
wet
heard.
and
How well could you hear them? Like, you heard the whole thing, or you just kind of heard them?
I heard some clippets because I was listening to some Queen on full blast.
All right.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah, but it's another thing, like, there's got to be a rule somewhere.
There is a general rule
that you shouldn't be sitting there like screaming at your phone while you're walking on the treadmill.
Yeah, generally the rule I know is that you can talk as loud as you want, but you're not allowed to play sound out loud. Like, because normally like everyone has their own headphones, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like, you don't play your own music off of a speaker, because then if everyone did that...
Yeah, it would just be like a big clusterfuck.
Yeah, exactly. But if you want to talk loud as fuck, like if everyone could talk loud as fuck, everyone could have like a loud conversation, and it'd be fine. But not everyone can bring their own speaker and blast their own sounds, right? Like, I listen to podcasts when I went to the gym before, but...
The gym plays music, too.
Yeah, which is... I don't like that, but some people are into that kind of thing.
It's also where I watch the news and got one of my other topics.
Oh.
Because each treadmill has its own little audio port you can plug into.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And has a TV assigned to it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think mine was playing Fox News, and I couldn't figure out how to change the channel.
Were they talking about foxes this night? Because every time I go to Fox News, they're not talking about foxes.
No, they weren't talking about foxes. I was kind of let
hell,
down.
Man? What's the deal with that?
They were talking about some shit going down in the UK.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
so
what were they
stupid.
talking about, Wenzel?
Hold on, actually, I wanted to say one thing about
Okay.
the gym, and then we talk about stupid bitch and whatever. Yeah, so I feel like you just like shouldn't fucking get in heated arguments. You just like shouldn't be like screaming at people on the phone, and you just shouldn't do that
Anywhere.
in public.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's just like not something you should do in public. You just like go the fuck somewhere else.
Yeah.
Obviously, some people just like don't care, but like it's fucking weird. It's awkward. Don't fucking do that.
Also, what's the level of nudity you think should be in a locker room?
You can go full nude in the locker room.
Like a gym locker room?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's full nude, because people
Yeah,
go to shower and stuff.
Yeah,
like...
you go shower and...
Okay, so the way this gym is set up, there's just the locker room, and then there's like a shower area that has its own little changing rooms. So there was
it's the lockers?
And then it's the lockers. So you walk in, you have your locker room, and you have to walk down a small hallway past some bathroom stalls, and then you have 3 curtained areas where you can change, and across from those is the showers.
Mm-hmm.
There was a dude who was butt naked.
That's a confident dude.
Yeah, he was confident.
Yeah. Was he old? Was he over the age of 60? Because that seems to be who I find butt ass naked.
He's either got a dong, or he's over the, or he's just like a boomer and doesn't give a fuck.
He was probably about 40.
Yeah, boomer doesn't give a fuck.
No, I don't know if they're quite boomer, but
he just strutted around and was having active conversations with random people.
Okay, that I don't like that.
Yeah.
First of all,
Patrick hit the head on the nail. Even though he's never been to the gym, everyone I've always seen butt ass naked in the locker room always has a huge dong, or there's some fucking old dude who just like, doesn't get it.
What's up, bro? Check it out.
Yeah, like literally one time I just walked in the gym. It was like 4 a.m. There's this black dude with a massive knee knocker, right? And he's just hanging out, like shaking his protein shake up, mixing things. I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like, I get if you're transiting some, like if you're walking to the shower butt ass naked, I wouldn't do it.
It's just letting
But
it be,
he's
letting it
making his
breathe.
protein shake.
Just letting it breathe.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I stand with you, gym guy.
Also, Jordan, would you ever wear gloves to the gym?
Only if I was gay and I wanted to give my boyfriend silky smooth hand jobs after I go to the gym.
I don't know. If you're like lifting or something, like maybe like if you're like lifting it, like
That
gives
is what
you
I did.
a
That's
grip
like
or
all I did.
something. I don't know.
Well, no, but the thing is that it helps you, like you get calluses and then it helps your grip strength too if you don't have gloves on. So like you're only, doing it
So the
to
gym
keep your
I go
hands
to-
soft.
Doesn't have like free weights. They're all machines. So like there's a bench press machine.
What kind of, you signed up, you pay to go there?
It was not expensive. They do have free weights? Scratch that, they have free weights.
Okay, alright.
But these dudes were on an elliptical and they had fingerless gloves, long
How old
basketball
were they?
shorts. Like 24.
Oh shit. You're in the big city, you're in Dallas?
I'm not in Dallas, I'm in a college town.
Oh, so they're gay.
30 minutes away from
So they are
Dallas.
gay.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so they're trying to give their boyfriends silky smooth hand jobs.
It's possible.
So my theory is that they probably weren't wearing it for the elliptical, but they were going to go do something afterwards, and they just had it on because like they're going to go use them. No point in taking them off, you know.
I hope so.
I hope
'Cause
so
if not-
too. I hope those gay dudes are giving each other silky smooth hand jobs with their newly,
You just like that sentence, don't you?
He does like that sentence now.
It's
I wanna-
if I had to rate it in one of my sentences, it'd probably be one of my top 15 sentences.
It's pretty solid.
It's high up there.
I want to talk about the gym or the locker room thing. If just like one thing,
Go for it.
if I'm anywhere in public and I don't know you, just don't fucking talk to me.
That's a
I don't
general
wanna
rule
talk-
too.
If I want to talk to you, I'll talk to you. But I don't.
But
'cause
they
I'm
want to
not
talk to
talking
you. But they want to
don't
talk to
care.
you. That's why they're talking to you.
I don't care.
You don't,
Don't
have
fucking talk to me, especially not when you're fucking naked in the locker room. There are way better places to fucking talk to me if you're gonna
I
talk. To me.
agree. I agree. The only
Like-
acceptable time I think it is to talk that it is acceptable to talk in the locker room if someone is about to forget something, or like
Yeah,
they
or
forget to
if
lock
there's,
something
like-
up or something like that.
If
They're
it's-
just like, hey
yeah,
man,
like,
you
oh,
you know
forgot
you
your
left
thing,
your.
or-
Wenzel,
I
does your
think-
gym have a sauna in the locker room, or is the sauna
No.
outside?
It is out.
Okay, so then it doesn't apply because I was gonna say the sauna is the only other time it's acceptable to talk to people that you don't.
There
know.
was another time I went. There was a dude rocking a thong,
Okay, I'm into it.
and he walked out of the locker room, got a drink of water from a water fountain in the workout area, and then walked back into the locker room.
They don't have a fountain in the locker room.
No, you don't usually drink in there.
Well, what if you're making your protein shake while you got your knee knocker out?
That's what the sink is for.
All right. I see where Wenzel stands on the hydro homie list.
I just bring my drink with me.
I do too.
I don't want no gym water. All right, but to continue on to my next topic, I guess it could be classified as an "Am I the asshole?" if I worded it correctly, but I don't feel like thinking that much today. So you know of Prince Charles and whatever the princess's name is, correct?
Meg something.
Yeah, Meg.
I'm
Yeah, that
familiar.
makes sense. So they've coined a new term called Megxit, where they're kicking her out of the royal family for marrying a non-British person.
Meghan is the non-British person.
Meghan is the non-British person?
Prince Charles, or not Prince Charles. What's his name? I don't know. The dude you're thinking of is the dude's the royal, and then the,
Okay, then
the
I got
chick's
it- I
just
got
an
it backwards.
American. You do.
No.
No, Meg married
don't-
in. She's an American actor.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, you're right. So he is being kicked out of the royal
Is
family.
he being kicked out, or is he leaving on his own? I think he was leaving on his own,
Like
from my
the
understanding.
queen
of
has
this.
told him he is no longer part of the royal family. Which
You
I don't
will
think
die.
that's how kind of, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. He's gonna die in a limo accident in a tunnel in a couple months. That's what I'm foreseeing.
Yikes.
Conveniently.
Yeah, that's
I
what
don't
I'm
think I'd
seeing.
want to mess with the queen.
Yeah,
She's lived too long. She's got too much power.
you gonna die. That's what
I
I'm
feel like if the
seeing.
queen went up to him and said, "You're gonna die,"
She said, "You gonna leave or you gonna die."
Oh shit.
So he left. Yeah.
but they have to repay. They have to give back all of their cars.
Oh.
They can't have their houses.
Oh.
They have to repay for getting renovations done on a cottage, and they cannot be brand ambassadors. So no one can capitalize off the ex-prince.
Hmm.
Do
I didn't
you
know it
think
was
that's
that. I thought, my understanding of the event is that I'm not like an expert on this. I just kind of overheard. Like, this is the word on the street to me that has gotten to me, is that they, like obviously they're not in line for the throne. It's his older brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from my understanding of it is that they're just going to the North Americas to try and start their own businesses or charities or foundations or whatever the fuck they're doing.
Right.
And they just went over there on their own, like without any influence, and they just announced, "Hey, we're going to the North America to do some stuff." Essentially, is what I thought it was. I didn't know that there was all this extra stuff. Where like, because I knew that the Queen didn't like that the Meg chick or whatever, but I didn't think there was any like that much bad blood,
Mm-hmm. Easy there, T-Swizzle.
I get it.
I heard the
was
gears
like,
turning.
Smoke was coming out. It was.
I like how the British term everything, though.
Yeah,
They just take a chunk of the name and then put exit at the end.
yeah.
So you got Megxit, Brexit.
Me when I go to work, Migsit.
That's... I like that.
Like when I go to Chick-fil-A, it's time for a Migsit.
Because
Like
you leave?
I'm leaving my house. Yeah, it's a Mizgit.
Oh.
Don't let Kimber know. I'm out of topics.
Word,
so whomstever is
word.
next, go.
Okay, so.
Not you.
Yeah, man, you cut me
What?
off.
Fuck you.
All right, so there's one thing I want to talk about. We talked about it a little bit on stream today, but I don't know if y'all have ever been to a college graduation. And
Never.
Not no community college graduation, but I've been to quite a few like university level graduations where they got like a big
Don't they
university.
Don't they take fucking forever?
They take fucking forever. That's what I was getting to, right? So I went to one recently. I went to one in like mid-December, and I was like, man, I hate college graduations, right? And this place was so big, they cut their ceremony in half. So there was two of them. Like half the students went to one, half went to the other, right?
Fuck
I
that.
had to go to both for reasons. I don't want to get too deep into it, but the person I was going with knew two graduates, and they were at the separate ceremonies, so I had to go to both.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah, I was sitting there like 8 hours at a graduation one day. That day was gone, right?
Wait, was it the same day?
Oh yeah, that day was gone.
Okay, that's not that bad. I figured it was like, oh, it's a 4-hour chunk this day, and then a 4-hour chunk the next day.
No,
Both
it was
days
like-
are now ruined.
Oh no, it was one day that was really just gone, right?
Okay, I think I would take one day mega fucked over 2 days.
Yeah, that's
pretty
definitely the way to
fucked,
do
though.
it. If you have to go to two graduations, try to get them both knocked out in one day.
Yeah, just bang it out.
So
Bold of you to assume I would go to one.
Yeah, first of
I
all,
was going.
that, but...
So they start off right. The guy's giving this intro. It's like an intro, like, "Oh, this is the fucking college. Look at how cool we are." Then it's like an intro on the dean. He's like, "Oh, look how cool I am." And then what I heard was basically this guy was like a Chinese puppet living in Tennessee, right? Is essentially what it was in a big announcement. And then after that, they start thanking specific groups. They're like, "Oh, thanks the the MAGA Kumalai. They went out and they picked up trash on the side of the freeway for 2 hours last Saturday." And they're getting this was like an hour of like, "Oh, thank this guy, thank that guy, thank whoever," right? And by the time I'm like done with it. I'm like, "Oh yeah, let's thank everyone who's left-handed and gets ink on their hand." Whenever they write, it's a big
Yo, I
adversity.
fucking hate that shit.
I know. I was like, "Oh, let's give a shout out to everyone whose birthday fell on a weekday this year and couldn't sell." I was like, really getting into it, and it was like that meme of Homer Simpson, and everyone's looking mad at him. And you know what I'm saying to myself? I'm like, college graduations.
Oh, shit.
they should not be one of these things that you're like compelled to go to. Like if your cousin's graduating in like 2 hours from you, you're kind of expected to go. Like it's supposed to be like a big deal for them, right?
I'm not going to mines.
I didn't even want to go to my graduation, you know? I hate graduation. They made me go to my own graduation. I didn't want to go.
That's some bull.
That is some bull.
Shit.
You know?
Does your shirt say Paul?
Me?
It says Paul McCartney on it, man.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
Jordan,
so
I don't
it's
know
a-
what shirt you're wearing.
it's
I
a
can't
Zelda
see
shirt.
you.
Oh, well, you got a point. Everyone
What
else
shirt
can
am I
see me
wearing?
though.
Blaine staff hoodie, dude.
Yeah. Don't you know I work at Blaine?
So anyway, I think
I'm a teacher.
that people who expect you to go to college graduations, which is most people, or even large events like this, are assholes. But hold on,
You all right? Oh,
I
that
don't
was
even
a
think
big
they
one.
should exist.
Moisty.
Like who? Like I guarantee the majority of the people who are there are only there for one person, right?
What did you just do?
What the fuck?
The cat eats plastic, so every now and then I gotta take a pillow and slam
Just
it on
fucking
the floor.
throw it at him. Okay, back to the I don't think you should be expected, definitely at all. Sure, it's like cool if it's like your sister or your brother, you know, like someone like
No, I'm saying fuck them, right?
this is where I'm going. I think if it's your sister or your brother, maybe
Maybe.
you know
Shame
someone
you
that
have to
you're
work at
like
that exact time.
maybe if you're not
Maybe.
doing anything, maybe they guilt you into it. But like someone else, I don't fucking care. Why does that matter? Congratulations, you did it.
Because they read your
Take my
name
$30
and you
take
get
my
like
fucking
10
card.
seconds of clap, and then you're just sitting there and they're talking about, oh, our school is so great, look at how cute our SKU is, and they're talking about, oh, let's give a shout out to this group who the water polo team because they helped clean up, you know, cat poop for an hour down at the shelter, whatever. Even
I
if
could
it's your
pay a
brother
homeless
and it's in
guy.
the same town, like
I could pay a homeless guy to do the same thing for $10.
that's what I'm. Well, you know, they're college graduates. They expect a lot of praise for not doing a whole lot. That's my experience so far.
Yes, college students are awful.
Yeah, even the people I work with who've graduated, they're like, oh, you know, I did what I was expected. Can I get some thanks? I'm like, no, you can get back to work is what you can get.
I got a degree. Thank me.
Yeah, there's this one chick who worked for me for like 3 months, and she got like a degree in like video rendering, and then she's doing my job, and I'm like, well,
You're welcome for my degree.
yeah, I'm like, I don't give a shit. Get back to work. But anyway, what I'm saying is, I don't think you should like. You could go to the gym for an hour instead of going to graduation. I'd say it's more productive. And then if you, like, if they were like, "Oh, why didn't you go to my graduation?" You'd be like, "I was at the gym," and it should just be like a, "Oh, well, that's clearly more productive than clapping for me for 15 seconds after sitting through 4 hours of bullshit." You know?
Yeah, I don't think I can think of. I mean, sure, I could think of a lot of things that are less productive than that.
You could play
But that
DayZ for an hour and it'd be more
definite-
productive.
Like I could stream and get 4 followers and be like, "That was more productive," you know?
Yeah, there are definitely. That's pretty high on the list of things that are.
Especially
not
if your
fucking
last name,
productive.
if your last name starts with like an A or something.
Oh, that
You're
should
getting
just
you're getting everyone's
there
clapping
should-
for you. You're not
there
even.
should just be the opportunity to like. There should be like a 2-minute interval between every letter. She's like, all right, this is well, it's all the A's. We're gonna take a small break, and then everyone just fucking leaves.
I wish.
Just
And
fucking
then people do leave after their person's called. They're like, oh fucking.
And those guys are the dicks.
they're like,
No, those are
Aaron
smart
Alpha,
people.
yeah,
Well, yeah, but everyone's
yeah.
like, oh,
and then they
you, like,
leave,
give 'em
and they're like,
the
look at these
glare.
assholes. They're just clapping for their guy and leaving. I'm like,
That's
man,
the
they gotta
fucking
figure
stuff.
it out. Those-
Yeah, that's the
Shout out
strat.
them. They're going to get Chick-fil-A.
Oh,
While everyone else is here, you know.
I ain't had Chick-fil-A in a minute.
I had some like 2 days ago.
Dang. So that's all I wanted to talk about. What I'm saying is college graduations are full of shit. And then I just wanted to pass judgment on to people in our later game. So,
What's more important, a high school graduation or a college graduation ceremony?
well, hold on. That's also what I wanted to talk about. You got me pointed again. I forgot that, right? I don't think you should even go to a graduation unless you get like a useful degree. Like, if you get like an arts degree, you go fuck yourself. You didn't do anything, right?
I feel like
sat
if you
around
get an
for 4
arts degree,
years.
you should celebrate while you can, because you're not going to be doing shit with it.
Yeah. If you get
Maybe
pretty
you
much, most things besides STEM, like if you get like a healthcare, like there's healthcare and some other stuff that's pretty useful and you'll get a good job, but like you get a useless degree, I don't think you should even get praised. I think we should laugh at you.
I'll be like, what's wrong with you?
What's
Give
wrong
us
with
our
you?
money and leave.
There are a couple, you could be like you could be a music teacher, an art teacher, you shit like that. Like, okay, sure. You could be like a historian or something, whatever. But like, yeah.
But like, you should really be shouting like, "Oh, this guy, he finished his engineering degree." Like, "Oh yeah, this guy, he actually did. He actually did something. He actually worked for something."
Oh, when you put it like that.
I just like don't fucking get it because like I don't know, I don't draw and like do art and shit or whatever that is. So I'm sure it's fucking hard. You ask me to paint fucking Picasso stuff, I can't do that.
Well, I'm not saying it's easy, right? But all I'm saying is that like 3/4 of people who start out as engineering majors do not finish as engineering majors. So like,
oh yeah, it is.
There's a reason people switch to art and not start off,
Yeah.
That too. I think it should definitely the government should not be giving out money just for any college degree. They should be giving out to specific ones. Number one. Number two.
Ones where career fields are needed.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll pay for your college, but you're
better be a computer scientist.
You're gonna contribute because we're not gonna waste our fucking money on you.
Mm-hmm.
Just so happens we need about 30 diesel technicians in this area. So congratulations.
You don't like it? Well, it's free. Feel free to pay for it yourself and do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah,
but
if you want to pay for it, I don't give two shits what you spend your money on. Yeah. So I think there should be like a separate, like category too, because they're all treated as equally. You're like, oh, you graduated college, like, well, hold on, what did you
now
really
you're
do,
gonna go work at Starbucks. Good job.
What did you really do though? Is my question.
Take your
that should be accounted.
Degree
that should be accounted for it.
Fillet burgers.
Like my brother, he spent 5 years getting his political science degree. You know what he's doing now?
Beating his meat.
He's going to work in sales.
Yep.
Nice.
All right. That is all I got.
But that political science degree is going to look real good on a Target application.
He's overqualified. They can't hire him now.
Shit.
Congrats, you played yourself.
What have I got? This is just a quick one. There was a Delta Airlines flight in LA that was trying to
I heard about this, yeah.
Emergency landing, and it was dumping fuel so that it wouldn't explode.
Yes.
And it ended up like putting fuel onto like a bunch of schools near the airport.
Yeah.
And a bunch of preschool like kindergarten kids got covered in jet fuel. Not covered, but it was not covered. I like to think they just fucking rained down.
Yeah, I was like, well, hold on, because I read the story, right? It was like 4 different schools.
This rain tastes funny.
Oh shit.
No, hold on. Listen, hear me out, right? If it's hitting 4 schools, like how many people else got hit, right?
Yeah, like shit. But
like it cannot have been like that much of a. It was definitely not condensed enough to do any damage if it's hitting 4 fucking schools.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of fucking people in LA, but still, yeah definitely.
I want to think someone was outside smoking and they just exploded.
Oh, shit. They set the whole block on fire. You just walk out of your house.
It's actually not that flammable.
Nope.
I've met maintainers who would like get covered in it. They'd go in the fuel tank and like do whatever the maintenance they have to do. And then they go out and then I'm like, this dude still got jet fuel. Is it okay? Like when I was brand new, and they just like light a cigarette and it'd all be cool. And I was like, oh, it's not that.
Shit.
It's not that flammable,
Does it evaporate quickly?
It does Wenzel. The correct term is it off gases very quickly.
My apologies. It off gases.
It does off gas very quickly. Number one, and number
two. It does, however, melt steel beams.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
It does not melt steel beams.
Yeah, it does not melt steel beams. Sorry, let me rephrase.
Yeah, it does not smell.
Does it on gas slowly then?
One more thing about this is that you might have drenched it on there, right? It's not like they were dumping jet fuel for the sake of fun, right? Like this is just another attempt by Hollywood, or I guess liberal Hollywood, to paint businesses as like the bad guys, but like they were dumping jet fuel so that when they landed, they wouldn't fucking explode.
Yeah, and there was 300 people on the fucking plane. Like you cover, put a little bit of gas on the kids if you're gonna save 300 people. It's fucking worth it any day in my book.
Yeah. On top of that, I'm sure like they got like a few drops on the kids, and they're like, ah, you ran jet fuel on the kids.
Yeah,
You know,
they're not, they're probably like, oh,
they're fine.
it's hard to breathe. They'll take him to the fucking doctor and
This
get that shit figured
gasoline
out.
smells funny.
You just carpet bomb a bunch of kids.
On top of
with
that,
jet
they're
fuel.
living in LA. Like, how
Yeah.
how clean do you think the air is?
Oh, that's definitely like just every day for them. Like all the
Yeah.
smog and
Oh
fucking
yeah,
homeless
They probably didn't even
heroin
notice.
needles on the sidewalk and shit.
yeah,
That's just another day in the hood.
yeah. Was this in Compton? I wonder if
Who knows?
where is LAX? This was LAX, right?
I don't know.
I'm assuming it's LAX. I'm gonna see if this is LAX in a good part of town. I don't think I've actually flown out of LAX. I've what's it called?
I flew into LA.
Yeah, I've used it as like a like a stopping point, but I never originated or ended there.
Is that where we went for the
Oh,
8th Street trip?
No, it is not in the bad part of town.
Also, it's a bunch of rich people's kids getting
It
gasoline.
is. I wouldn't say rich. It's like average LA. Yeah, they're rich people.
Yeah, they deserve it. Then they can just
Well,
make a new
rich
one.
by American terms, they're probably like average LA people.
Children are replaceable.
Yeah, the good news is you haven't lost that much time, right?
No.
Like
They-
if I
they do
die,
not-
you're losing 22 years of experience. You know.
Yeah.
If you're 5, like,
If you're
Like,
5 years
ah,
old, how much are
he
you
learned
doing
how
for
to-
society?
You know, maybe he could cook. He make a mean peanut butter and jelly. Cut the crust off it.
But apparently he's never
I had
had
a
an Uncrustable then.
very good peanut butter and jelly sandwich yesterday, for the record.
Did Wanda make
The
it?
record observes.
No, I made it.
Oh, well, you have
Had some,
years of experience.
oh yeah, had some good strawberry preserves. Some good creamy peanut butter. You guys like creamy or crunchy peanut butter?
Creamy.
Cream.
Yeah.
That's definitely the way.
I got another one.
Oh,
This cat's about
you
to get
do.
some plastic again.
Well, throw the cat.
I got a prime.
You got like locked and loaded.
Dude, the cat ran.
You gotta
in
turn the
mine, dude.
camera. Oh,
We
you
gotta
gotta do
watch
it a
him-
second time. You know,
We gotta watch him just obliterate his cat.
Oh, it's not my cat.
it's like when you,
You
shoot.
gotta get
it's
You
like
gotta
when
get
shoot
like
a
one of
duck.
those T-shirt cannons. Just have it fucking loaded with like those beanbag pillows, the ones like the squishy ones, so that it like condenses when it hits and just. Oh shit!
Ones will turn to Chinese real quick. taking orders from his Chinese masters.
Speaking of China, but not actually China. This is actually
China number one.
Japan.
Same thing.
Toyota at the Consumer Electronics Show announced or said something. They're planning on building a fully smart city.
Right on.
Starting in like 2021, I think, right near in Japan by Mount Fuji or something
I
like
think
that.
that's what it was, Mount Fuji.
But basically, yeah, like all of the vehicles are completely automated. All of like the police.
The police are automated?
Somehow, yeah, there's like police vehicles or something are automated.
Oh,
Of the
well, hold on, that
restaurants,
doesn't
like
count.
everything.
You
Everything
said,
that a person could do, basically.
So what do the people do?
They're just like the beta test. This is like the start of.
well, hold on.
every,
You said
like,
you
sci-fi
said
movie.
the vehicles are automated and the police vehicles are automated. So are the police
Yeah, I don't
automated or
know.
not?
Let me see if I can.
That seems like a pretty important step to me.
I
Is
mean,
it just
there's
their
that.
vehicles, or is it all the police?
There's that police robot that was on a campus that a lady needed help with something, and it told her no, thank you, and then whistled and rolled away.
Okay, let me. I got this pulled up here. Let's see. Toyota is launching a major initiative to accelerate the way society will live. It's providing a glimpse into the future via a 360-degree. Hold on. Its intent to build the Woven City, a 175-acre site. Okay, so it's gonna automated technology is going to liberate the residents from basic tasks. So there's gonna be like robots doing a lot of the shit. The city's supposed to be fully sustainable. There's gonna be solar panels on all the roofs, so that generates the power. It's gonna have like gardens and shit. Let's see. That's
So I would like to
pretty-
point one thing out while you're looking for it, but Japan actually emits more pollution per person than us. So Americans emit like, if everyone emitted like an American, then we would need 4 planets as far as emissions and resources go. But for Japan, it's like 7.1 per person.
Oh,
Which,
yeah,
which kind of
100%.
rings a bell because solar panels are not environmentally friendly. You know, like they emit or they produce lots of physical pollutants that can only go in a landfill and that cannot be recycled. So I don't know if you should put them on all the roofs. Maybe just on roofs that absolutely need to have their own power source.
Fuck you, I'm making a solar farm.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Where I wanted to go with this, though, basically the people that are living or they're existing inside of this thing are going to be like the beta test.
Yeah.
And this just sounds like like the start of the worst fucking sci-fi movie. Every sci-fi like movie that I've ever heard of. What do you guys
Yeah, it
think?
starts like that, but those are just movies, you know? Like, what are you gonna...
I don't know, man. I've seen a
Just a
couple
movie.
movies. It seemed like one of them had what's his name?
Like, technology's only saved us, you know? Like, can you name a time, like, technology has, you know, hindered mankind in some sort of great way? Like, of course
The
we've all had
atomic
accidents.
bomb
Yeah.
That worked out really well, because it...
fucked things up pretty good.
Well, yeah, but it was either that or a land invasion, which would have killed millions more. Like, that saved lives.
Okay.
Yeah,
Even
roundabout
though,
way.
you know, you have any other examples? Because obviously there's airline accidents, but now airline's the most safest way to fly. Like, you know, there's always going to be speed bumps and stuff, and
Except
maybe
for that
things go
airplane that
bad.
got shot down over Iran.
Still the safest way to fly.
I don't know about you. When I drive to Kroger, I'm not worried about a missile coming out and hitting me.
Yeah, but you
Although
can
I
get
do
in a car
have-
accident.
You should,
Usually.
because I have missiles set up along your route to Kroger, and one day
Oh,
you're gonna
yeah.
get one.
You know what, Wenzel? I'm
Just-
taking you out.
I'm waiting for the right day.
At least wait for it to rain one more time.
I'm gonna drone strike your ass one of these days.
I'm not a Iranian general.
That's okay.
That's
General
okay.
Salami.
Yeah.
General Salami. I have a meat log in the fridge.
A meat log.
Yeah.
Would you care to
Speaking
elaborate?
of meat logs, you guys want to do this Am I the Asshole about abortion?
That sounds
Yeah.
like a plan to me.
I thought
mean,
that was a
kids are
good
just-
segue. I thought that was a good
A
segue.
meat log? Because she's got a little meat log growing in her, or
I don't know.
what's
I,
the
just,
segue?
I clicked. This was the first one I clicked on, and that was the one that sounded
It's like
it would fit
that's like the
both.
third to last one.
I know, but do you want me to do them in order?
I don't care.
Meat
I don't
log.
give it. You know, it doesn't matter
Okay.
in order.
All right. Here's this first one about abortion. Okay.
Here's
You
your
got
meat
Patrick
log.
to read them because I can't read. By the way,
Apparently, this is a. Oh, those are fucking gross.
those are gross. My girlfriend
these
really
for
likes those,
Christmas.
but I hate those.
Jordan, I'll send him to you in the mail if Kimber wants them.
I don't. No, you better not.
I'm gonna do
You
it.
better not. Okay. All right. Here we go. You guys ready?
Yes.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I
I'll
was in the
change it
break.
to red.
I fucking hate you.
I just
I
sat
was-
up more.
You quit fucking talking.
No, you.
I was in the break room at work, and my coworker Arthur.
You got to read the
pretends-
title.
Oh. Am I the asshole for talking frankly about my abortion when my coworker was making some wild generalizations about what abortions are like? I was in the break room at work, and my coworker Arthur, who tends to talk a lot about politics, got to talking about politics. It was me, my coworker John, who I'm good friends with, Adam, who I don't know too well, and Arthur in the room. I was kind of sitting back from the discussion because I wanted to chill and eat lunch. But it kind of annoyed me that Arthur was making comments about women getting abortions without knowing what they're getting into, making impulse decisions because they're scared of parenthood, as if that's a big thing that happens often. I spoke up and said I didn't think it was like that, as our state has mandatory counseling and meetings to make sure the person is giving informed consent. And I didn't think anyone was going about it willy-nilly without knowing what they were doing. He got kind of blustery, saying, well, how do you know that they don't just rush you through that and tick a few boxes? I said that when I'd had mine, I had a very practical and informative counseling session that gave me a lot of information on my options, what I'd expect from the procedure, what my specific risks of continuing with the pregnancy would be due to a medical condition of mine. And I didn't feel at all like I was doing something I didn't understand. It was really awkwardly silent for a bit, and Arthur told me that it wasn't appropriate for me to have said that at work, and it's something I ought to keep quiet. I bit back the childish urge to comment that he started it. Later, John, my friend from work, said he thought it was funny how I threw Arthur's assumptions in his face, but he thinks I ought to be a little more careful because Arthur is probably going to think different of me now. I don't feel ashamed to talk about it, but I do see how it was a lot to say at work. Am I the asshole?
Yo, fuck Arthur.
Fuck Arthur.
I don't know. Hold on. I don't know what state she lives in. I'll play the bad guy here. I don't know what state she lives in, right? But a lot of states don't have that, right? Like, you can just show up and get one, right? You don't have to go through all that extra bullshit, right?
Yes,
Can I get
delete
one?
this fetus right now.
No, you cannot.
Okay.
You can't get pregnant, so I guess.
How dare you assume his gender?
Hey, maybe if you put a meat log in, you can get that one aborted.
Be like, you pull it out.
Exactly.
I don't know. The
But-
meat log I received was 3 feet long and 4 pounds.
This guy, he wasn't saying anything too crazy, right? The only thing I would not do if I was him is he's putting a motive to people that he doesn't know, right?
Yeah.
If he wants to say that it comes from if he wants to give like an actual statistic, like, oh, it comes from 80% of women who are in a stable relationship or something like that. I don't know what the number is, but I'm just making that up. If he said something like that, and he had like a fact, like, you can't argue with a fact. He's just saying, oh, well, it comes from people in a relationship, so it must be for convenience. And I could kind of agree with him, but I'm just going to say everyone sucks here, because number one, you shouldn't talk about politics at work, but number two, you shouldn't really you shouldn't really try and argue with someone who obviously is like he's not open to changing his mind. Yeah, exactly.
He's
so you're just
made
kind of
up his
creating
mind.
extra drama at the workplace, right? And it seems like she was trying to be the bigger person, which is obviously the good thing to do by not telling him you started it, right? But she wasn't big enough to realize what situation she was creating. She should just let a little kid throw his little tantrum, essentially. Yeah, exactly. It's not like he was personally going after her, right? Like, he was just saying
if
general
he just
things.
keeps spouting, then he just looks like a fucking idiot. And
Yeah, you
everyone's
let
just
him look like an idiot.
Crazy Arthur again.
Yeah, that's why, Facebook, they're trying to ban political ads, or people want them to ban political ads, right? But I don't think they should, right? If you want politicians to say stupid stuff that's, like, frankly, lies or broadly untrue or something like that, you should let them shoot themselves in the foot, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, what she should have done here, is just let him keep going on. Because now she's got, Arthur's got a little bit of ammunition, kind of. So I'm going to say everyone sucks here.
Okay. I was definitely originally just going to say not the asshole, but you convinced me. Yeah, that everyone's shitty here.
All right.
One thing, like, coming from, like, me personally, when I'm not right about something, it just, like, it just is like, it just irks me for some reason. I like to be right.
Yeah.
And if somebody's wrong, I gotta
You gotta let them know they're wrong.
But lately, like, the past, I don't know, maybe year or so, I've just, like, started because of that, I just, like, would get not, like, angry, but, like, worked up and, like, kind of ticked off, or, just, like, annoyed when I try to, like,
yeah, I work with a lot of boomers, and a lot of them will say stuff that, like,
I would have
it just
to
doesn't make
explain
any
to them, and I'd be
sense.
like, "This is why you're wrong," and they're like, "No," because maybe they're stubborn or whatever, and I'm just like, "You don't get it." Still, yeah.
It's because they're a right bell end.
Yeah, it's not even that. Like, sometimes the boomers I work with will say stuff that's just, like, blatantly, completely wrong, and it's like, you really believe that? Like, the other week, I'm gonna call it, like, last Wednesday, this one dude was like, yeah, I can't believe the kind of technology they got. They got these screens now that you just paint them on the wall, and it's just there. It's just a screen now it's painted on the wall. I'm like,
excuse me?
What?
Where can I get one?
Yeah. I'm like, are you smoking crack? Like, how did you get that? That definitely does not exist.
Fuck, I wish. That'd be dope.
That would be dope as hell, but that does not exist. I don't know how you even came up with that.
Back to my thing. But yeah, I've just, like, I've been trying not to do that, and it's just like, holy shit, everything's so much easier now. I just don't give a shit. If you're wrong, like, you're fucking wrong. Congratulations. Yeah. I know I'm right, and, well,
it'd be a lot better if everyone's on the same page, but it's not worth your effort to make it happen.
It's not worth my...
Leave it to Ben Shapiro or something like that.
Exactly. So, Wenzel, what do you think?
I'll be the odd one out.
Oof.
I still think what's his butt is an asshole.
All right.
Okay.
Like he started the conversation. If you're not willing to accept that other people are going to jump in and give their opinion and facts,
So
don't
you
bring it
think
up.
the argument should have kept on going?
Yeah, I
Okay.
feel like they could have threw some more info in there.
Got
Maybe
into a
maybe
little rumble, maybe.
It seemed like
Yeah.
Arthur didn't have anything to back up his statement either. You know,
no.
like
So
if you're gonna say something like that, you got to have some information
yeah,
to
he just
back it
dug
up
himself
too.
a hole.
I get if you want to give your opinion and then follow it by facts. Normally I'd do facts then opinion, but
I mean, also, who talks about abortion at work?
that too. That's also another thing.
That
Yeah, I
seems like
definitely.
I feel like she could have took Arthur to HR about them, like, hey, he's shit talking.
It seems like it's a small company if there's only 4 people in the break room.
I don't know. Maybe that's like
Either that or
shifts,
they work.
different departments.
Yeah, I was gonna say either that or they work different hours. So normally that's kind of indicative of someone of a workplace where it's heavily work focused and not really. They're not too worried about HR. At least that's
So I still think
my take
I
on
still
it.
think Arthur is a right bell end, and I'm sticking with it.
All right.
Next.
All right. Am I the asshole for telling my parents that they ruined kids for me? This is actually not as long as I thought it was. During a family gathering, my parents once again started asking me about when I'll give them grandbabies. I've been married for 3 years, and neither me nor my husband have interest in having kids of our own. A lot of ladies tonight. I usually just brush them off and walk away, but this time they were being extremely persistent. Especially because my brothers and sisters were around, and some of them already have families of their own, even though they're younger than me. The reason why I'm not into the idea of having kids is that I had to play the role of a parent to all of my siblings. All 6 of them. Fuck that, first of all.
Yeah.
My parents were irresponsible and had me at 16, and when I was 5, they had my first sibling, and the rest of them were born soon after. So since I was very young, I had to help out my mother and supervise or take care of 6 kids while still being a kid myself. I never mentioned this to my parents because they never asked me my motives. In fact, they brush off the excuses I give them. So I decided that maybe if I were honest, they would finally understand, but I was very wrong in that assumption. My mother was crying halfway through the explanation, and my father got very heated. I tried to have it be a private conversation away from where everyone else was, but since things went downhill, all my siblings got very curious about what had happened. I had to then explain what happened to my siblings, which ended up turning into a bigger mess. I was called ungrateful, hurtful, and an asshole and cold-hearted for not only blaming my parents, but also for making my siblings feel like they were burdens. At this point, my husband and I decided to leave, which only escalated things further, because I ended up getting kicked out of the family group chat and also had been blocked by most of them on social media. Am I the asshole?
No.
No. Why?
Me?
Yeah.
Wow.
You can't just say
I'm
your
very.
opinion.
So I've had a very similar situation happen, which is funny because I'm not even with someone, and I wasn't with anyone at the time either. My family is very. They want grandkids, and there's two people up for that election. My cousin Sydney, who's been in a relationship since 8th grade, who's older than me, and me. And they very much ask when we're gonna have grandkids. And I told my family it's not gonna happen. And they're like, oh, you just don't know yet. But also,
Like, I can't get my hand pregnant, Mom.
yeah, Pamela Henderson, I've tried. It ain't working.
Oh, shit.
She's not
You
fertile.
gotta tell him that. You gotta be like, I'm trying. It ain't working. I don't know what's wrong with this thing.
No. My new go-to is I got you a cat.
All right.
I'm like,
Anyway,
you asked a grandkid? I'm like, yeah, Felix. Oh, when did you have her? Oh, it's a cat. I found her outside of Starbucks, covered in gasoline. Merry Christmas.
Nice.
Okay, but to continue my thing, she's 16 and having to raise 6 kids. Help raise 6 kids.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to have kids after dealing with.
Hold on. I want to say
Hold
she
on.
was. So it had me.
If she's younger, it's just gonna even fuel me even more.
No. So her mom had her when she was 16, and then they didn't have kids for like 5 years, and then they kept banging them out pretty quick after that.
So she's like 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, she said she was 5
Damn.
when her first sibling was born.
So she since the age
I don't know how
11.
old she is now, but she's been married for 3 years.
So that means
Yeah.
for a good portion of her childhood, she was just helping raise her siblings.
Well,
6 of them.
she didn't really explain exactly what that meant, right?
I'm assuming
Yeah.
it's like
Because
some
I
of
don't
the
know
other
if that
Am I the
means
Assholes.
I don't know if that means like, oh, can you entertain the kids while I cook dinner, or if it's like, hey, can you cook dinner and watch the kids and clean up because
Yeah, this could
I'm
it could
watching
mean a lot
TV.
of things.
She didn't really elaborate on that, so I'm gonna say not enough information here because of that.
But I also don't find family like that meaningful to me. My friends mean more to me than my family does.
hmm You can't choose your family; you're kind of stuck with them.
Yeah.
So if
Well,
because maybe her families are like douche, maybe they're douches, you know.
I move halfway across the country, problem solved.
hmm
My mom can't come knock on my door. If she does, I'm gonna have a lot of questions. One, how does she get my address? And I don't know. I don't have any interest in like. I have 2 family members I'm willing to help.
Hmm.
The one I live with, and her brother, because her brother is in kind of a similar situation. Not really.
Is she not? Is he not your cousin?
He is.
Oh, okay.
He's like a half cousin.
Ah, okay.
Same mother, different dad.
The old half cousin dingo.
Yeah, that's what you got me.
Yeah.
I don't have any half cousins, so I was a little bit confused.
He got that whole dependopotamus thing going on and had 3 kids.
I didn't know if that was legal to have a half cousin. I had to think about that.
Half cousin. I'm in
I was
the
like, huh.
South.
Yeah,
Anything's legal down here.
I guess. Yeah, so I'm gonna say that there's not enough
Anything you
information
say.
because essentially you don't know like what degree was she responsible for taking care of the kids and for how long and whatnot like that. And on top of that, you don't know if like maybe her family's like really supportive now or whatever, right? Like they're always trying to do stuff and have fun and have family dinners and whatnot like that. And now she's just like, I don't know, holding grudges or whatever. And maybe her family's like a mega douche and they're just like a shitty family and she doesn't want. She's like, oh, this
Kinda
is
seems
what
like they're
people
being
are.
that.
You know, this is what family is. I don't want a whole lot more of these. You know. So I'm gonna say not enough information.
I want to know more on why the family like kicked her from their group chat.
That is fair.
But I'm still standing with the family's the asshole.
I think I'm with Jordan here. There's just not enough information. I don't know.
What
I'm
does
kind of
Reddit say?
leaning towards the family being the asshole, but
Yeah,
I'm
me
also
too. But she didn't really elaborate on exactly what she meant. Because I can they kicked her out and they got mad immediately like when she put some sort of blame on them. So I can definitely understand that the family's probably a pretty shitty family, but she didn't elaborate on what taking care of meant to her.
Taking care of business.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say not enough information.
It doesn't actually. Reddit has not finished judgment yet,
No, Reddit is not.
so the world may never know.
Mm-hmm.
1, a 2, a 3. Next.
All right.
All right. I've got 2 more, and then I think that's basically it.
That'll be a show.
You guys want to hear about a daughter's college fund first, or
Let's go with the other one.
paintings?
I like paintings.
Okay. Backstory. I'm 26
You need
and oh yeah, sorry. Am I the asshole for charging my sister 2,500 pounds, euros? I don't know what that symbol is.
Pounds.
$2,500 for one of my paintings after her kid ruined it.
Sounds like the iPad story all over again.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of parallels.
Backstory. I'm 26 and a fairly successful artist. My sister, Lucy, 24, and her child, Ethan, 9, were at my house during a late New Year's celebration. I had a sign posted on my art studio saying, "Do not enter," and specifically made it clear to all guests that nobody was to enter that room. I'd also like to note that all my guests were asked to leave their kids at home as this was for adults only. But Lucy couldn't do that because she couldn't find a babysitter. There's just a random note in here.
Mm-hmm. That's
Note,
relevant.
I also set up my boyfriend's PS4 for him to play on, so he wouldn't be bored. Oh, is this for the kid?
Yeah, so the kids play PS4.
Okay, I thought she was talking about the boyfriend. I was like, why does this
Oh.
fucking matter? Why does this matter? But, okay.
She didn't want her boyfriend to the party. She wanted him distracted.
Yeah, you don't want your boyfriend to get weird or to get bored.
Anyways, itch my nose. It's 10 p.m. and I hear a loud crash from my studio. I run up and see paint all over my recent work that so far had taken 15 hours to do, and Ethan was sat there laughing, rubbing paint into my work. It's now unsalvageable and I have to restart it, as it was a specific request from a client, which also puts me behind for the rest of my work. I immediately asked Ethan and Lucy to leave, and the next day I sent her a bill for the work, $2,500, which is lower than what I would have gotten for the work anyway. And she's absolutely screaming about it, and the whole family is divided. My mom hates me. My dad completely agrees with me. Surprise, my dad is an artist, and my mom is more smart. My sister's husband agrees with me. I will admittedly say I don't enjoy kids or their company, but I've always been a great aunt. Presents at Christmas, gifts from vacation, and everything he's wanted. Am I the asshole for charging my sister?
Hell no.
So, this is kind of like the iPad story, where clearly Lucy's at fault, and Ethan is kind of like a shithead, right? But the difference is that, you know, at the start they say, "Oh, I'm a pretty successful artist," talking about how hot shit they are, because in the iPad, the iPad was like their only source of income, you know. So like if they didn't have that iPad, they weren't making money, and they don't have a lot of money to begin with, so they really needed it.
I don't actually know this one. Give me a quick.
Okay, so essentially it was kind of like a same. I think it might have also been a New Year's party where or no, it was for Christmas. I think there was like a family staying over, and they were staying at the grandparents' house, and then one of the I'll call them parents, even though they both weren't parents, but the mom's brother brought her iPad over, and it was left in like the dad's kind of like studio or office or whatever. And then the sister gave her kids this like $2,000 iPad to watch movies on, and then the kids absolutely shattered it. And it had like a pen and like some other work that he was late, you know, supposed to get done on it.
Oh, that's not good.
You know, the brother was like, "Well, fucking, I need, you know, like $3,000 to fix all this, and I want it from you because your kids broke it, right?"
Yep.
So I think it's, you know, even though this is a successful artist, right? The kid's 9 years old, which is old. He was older than the three kids in the iPad story, so he should have been able to know. Do not.
100%.
Do not.
You know,
right?
by the time you're 9, you know something says don't fucking do it. You don't fucking do it.
Yeah. Let alone going in there and fucking with like when I've been 9, and I've never been so fucking stupid that I dump paint all over the shit and start rubbing my hands all over a painting, right? Maybe if it was like a blank canvas, I'd fuck with it a little bit.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this is cool. I can make my own fucking
But like
painting.
if I'm imagining there's like some like if there's a fucking Luigi on the wall, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, let me rub my hands all over. I've never been that stupid as a 9-year-old.
Yeah, you don't.
Maybe
do
if
that.
I was like 4, right?
Yeah, that's something a actual child would do.
Yeah, like an actual. I thought like a toddler, right? Like a child should be able to understand do not enter, and do not vandalize, especially at like your uncle's house.
Let me rephrase, like a baby, or like.
Because I know going to my uncle's house is like. I was like living on the edge, and he had like bear rugs from like.
Ooh,
or not like it wasn't a rug because I know he's walking, but it was like a bear carcass that he shot, and I was like,
like a bear skin.
I was like, "Can I touch?" And he's like, "You can touch," and I'd like rub it, and I'd be like, "Oh, cute, dead bear," you know?
Yeah.
And even then, like I knew to ask, and I was probably like 7, right?
Yeah.
So this kid definitely should have known. And then his mom, if you can't afford childcare, you gotta care for your child. Then you can't just leave it, running around the house. Especially at a party like this where there's adults doing adult stuff. You wouldn't want your kid to run into adults doing adult stuff. So I'm still going to say this person is not the asshole, and their sister is in fact the asshole. Yeah. Despite that this is a successful artist, and we do not know if they're able to easily get $2,500 worth of stuff.
Well, it's one of those, it's a commission. Mm-hmm. It's a commissioned piece of art, so like someone is expecting you to have this done.
Yeah.
By X amount of time, and they've paid you money to have it done, and that will like ruin your reputation.
Yeah.
So like 15 hours of painting. I can't sit down and paint for 15 hours. I can't sit down and paint for an hour.
I don't think I could probably do anything for 15 hours.
I can't imagine I could stream for 15 hours. I could do that.
I could probably
Yeah.
sleep for 15
I could
hours.
maybe go to work and work on stuff for 15 hours and get real fucking tired afterwards. But a how big is this fucking canvas that you're spending 15 hours on it? I can't spend 15
Or maybe,
hours.
yeah, tons of detail or something.
It's
I don't
obviously
know, but-
an incredibly detailed, piece of art. Like, nothing I would
Also-
ever be able to do, obviously, but...
Yeah, put a little.
Have you
My
heard
choice.
of Microsoft Paint? By any chance? Because I'm a fucking fiend. Let me tell you.
If I'm having a party and I invite a bunch of people over, and say I invite my cousin Lucas over, and he brings his 3 kids, he's gonna walk through the door and be like, "Leave, get rid of these, come back, go put them in a truck."
You stay outside. Go in the doghouse.
Especially
you don't have
since...
to. You don't
they
have to
put a
go home. But
PS4
you can't
out.
be here.
You give me a PS4 now, I'll be entertained for 15 hours.
Yeah.
What kind of party is she having that's lasted 15 hours?
No, it's not. I'm just saying, like... Your kid
But-
needs a little shithead, you know?
What if they only have Skyrim?
Shit, do you know how
He's-
many hours
he's
of
9 years
Skyrim I
old.
got?
I'm entertained by Skyrim at... I was...
22.
Well, hold on. How old was I when Skyrim came out?
I don't want to hear this number.
I was 13 when Skyrim came out.
Yeah, I actually saw this today. Skyrim came out 9 years ago.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna follow New Vegas.
I'm gonna say it came out in the year beforehand. I'm pretty sure it came out the year before, 2010.
I don't think it came out in 08.
November 2010 is what I'm guessing.
November 2010?
Your boy.
No, is that's your guess?
Yeah.
Mine's 2008.
You're
October
smoking crack.
19th, 2010.
Ooh,
Ooh,
that was close.
close enough.
No, because Fallout 3 came out in 2008, I believe.
Let's find out.
When did
All
Halo
right.
2 come out?
Guesses?
Halo 2 came out in 2004, is what I'm
We're
guessing.
still on Fallout 3. We're still on
Fallout 3 came out in 2008. Do I gotta give a month?
Yeah,
April 2008.
October 2008.
October 28th, 2008.
Damn.
You will die.
Okay, let me talk about this fucking art bitchy lady real quick.
All right, bitchy lady.
This lady, not the painting lady, the other lady. She's fucking stupid. I hate her. First of all, I think she should be thrown off the cliff in a box.
What about the kid?
Fucking kid, fucking put him in a box. Fucking throw him off too.
No, I say we give the kid a chance. We put him on a remote island with like a sailboat that's disassembled, and if you can reassemble it and get back to civilization,
Okay, good idea.
he gets a second chance.
But he gets all the way through, and then he realizes he's missing a piece.
That's fair.
Or no,
I
you
like
put
it.
extra pieces, so he gets through, and he's like, "Fuck, what was this supposed to be?"
Well, he's gonna do it like what most people do, and he's like, I built it better than the engineers, you know? Because I know you've taken something apart and you got some extra screws and stuff. You built it better than the engineers. They needed the screws, not you. My girlfriend did. She tried to do that with her car the other week.
Oh no.
It was like a support frame that's like bent to shit. It's bent like you can't see it, but imagine it's like a like the top part of a pistol. You know how it's like
Is it bent like
vertical?
this?
Yeah. So you see it like that,
Wait, let
right?
me see.
So does the other part have like a 90-degree bend also?
No, it's
Okay,
flat.
no.
This is a
So
crowbar.
imagine that has like a 90-degree bend. It's holding up the engine, right?
Wait, hold on. I got this guy.
Okay, so hold it horizontally. So it's driving down the road. She hits a curb, and imagine that gets bent where that flat part that I'm looking at now is like looking at the ground. Close enough.
Okay.
She
Sure.
says, it's bent? Let's just take it out.
Take the frame out.
Yeah, she's like, why do we need it? It's bent. Take it out. I'm like, I was like, the
I've worked on
engineers
quality.
at Chrysler needed the support frame, not Kimba. She's gonna,
Big
Hold it up
Chrysler's
through.
gonna be coming after her. Think she know
yeah.
big support frame. She's on their radar now.
Replaceable support frames. Why has no one ever done this? This is genius.
She's gonna get fucking Epstein
Yeah.
by Big Chrysler for figuring out.
So
their trick.
so we gotta figure out when Halo 2 come out.
Oh yeah, I wanted a Halo
So
Dose.
I'm gonna say it came out in November of 2004, and then we'll go on to the next one.
I'm gonna
What
say
day?
December.
Oh, what day?
December
The
31st.
11th.
November 11th, 2004,
Mhm.
and December what?
20th.
2004.
Yeah.
November 9th, 2004.
Ooh.
They always do it within the first chunk of November, because then the
They got time for
really
the holidays.
dedicated fans, the really dedicated fans get it like then, and the rest, everybody else just gets it for Christmas. That's how most big games.
All right, you want to go on to the next one?
Yeah, this is the last Am I the Asshole?
That's the longest one too.
All right, I'm actually going to remember the title this time.
Good job.
Am I the
Sure.
asshole for donating my daughter's college fund instead of giving it to my stepdaughter to help buy a house? No.
Well,
No, I'm.
oh,
So I have a 16-year-old daughter that passed away in a car accident on October 19th. I've been
Damn.
collecting a college fund for her since she was young. My ex-husband and I both put money into it, as well as she put some of her paychecks from work into it. And it's about $25,000. I recently remarried to a man who has a 30-year-old daughter. My stepdaughter doesn't like me because I'm only 3 years older than her. Oh, shit. My husband is significantly older than I am. First of all, that awkward moment you had math class with your stepmom. My daughter was very passionate about the environment, and my ex-husband and I discussed what we would do with the college fund. My husband says it was my daughter's, and I can do what I feel is right to honor her. We decided to divide it, and we would each donate to charities we felt would make our daughter proud. Where are we? My stepdaughter, however, thinks we should split it evenly, and she should get some cushion for buying a house, since I'm married to her father, and that makes my contribution his money too. She thinks donating essentially $13,000 wouldn't mean anything to a big charity, and I could help someone I know in real life. My husband has since joined her side and thinks $13,000 would help her buy a house, and we can honor my daughter in another way. Am I the asshole for not wanting to change my plans? Do you
Hell
want me to
no.
read the edits?
Yeah.
Or there's an edit, and then there's some chunk below that. There seems to be some confusion, so I'm sorry for wording it poorly. My ex-husband and I, and a little bit my daughter, are the sole people putting money into the fund. My current husband has not put any money in. My stepdaughter and my biological daughter did not know each other at all. She's 33, her husband's 58. They share a house account and have separate personal bank accounts. The stepdaughter has brought this up multiple times. It wasn't just a suggestion, she keeps talking about it. The stepdaughter is not poor financially. She can afford a house. She's single, and her husband helped pay it off, or pay off her debt before they got married. She just wants the extra money. Okay, I think that's basically it. Who wants to go in?
Yo, fuck
Go
that
off.
stepdaughter.
Go off, King.
Not literally.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, you can make a nice
No,
porno. Then she can have 13K.
got a
No,
point.
she's that fucking.
No, the
She is
stepdaughter's a
33.
cunt.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck this lady.
think
Fuck
she's a
her.
cunt.
Throw her in a box with the fucking 9-year-old kid. Fucking throw her off the fucking river. Fuck this lady.
I don't know, right? You haven't convinced me yet. I'll
Okay,
tell-
so like,
Okay, I'll let you.
what rights does she have to the $13,000?
She doesn't have any of it, but
Precisely.
she didn't demand it. She's just asking.
No, but it's not just like a ask one time. It's like she's like, hey, can I have it? And then they're like, no. And then she's like,
Yeah, okay.
can I have it?
I can
And they're like, no. And then she's like, but can I have it though? It's like the "Can I have your number" guy from
I mean,
that old.
If
It's
she was
like-
only asking for like $500 and she needed to pay off like a semester of her engineering degree, that would be. I would say give her the money then.
Yeah.
But she's asking for 13,000 cold
Yeah.
ones
First of all, that's a lot of fucking money.
That is.
to put down on a house.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
And,
like you didn't earn any of that. Why is that?
And like you didn't know, you weren't friends with the poster's daughter. You didn't. Your dad was like, "Hey, I'm gonna wife this bitch," and then you're like, "Hey, I want $13,000 out of this because you
You're
wifed
like,
my dad."
Mm-hmm.
Hey, she is the TA in my high school math class. She gave me an F on my paper. Gave me 13 grand.
All right, so essentially this money was going towards an investment anyway, right? You had one daughter, you lost a daughter, right? You're down to one daughter, right? So she's too old to make a. I mean, maybe she's gone to college, maybe she hasn't, right? But she's not planning to go to college and spend this money to make more money, right? But what you can do is help her with this current investment, which is buying a house. Houses tend to go up in value over time because more people are born and the same amount of real estate stays on the earth, right? And presumably you bought it near a population center, and as time goes on, people are going to want access to that population center, which is your real estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this money can either go to some charity, which, sure, it's good for whatever, right? But this money was an investment, right? You spent your life trying to help one daughter, which you now no longer have, and now pretty much her only daughter is this stepdaughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you might not like the stepdaughter, which I can tell, but it was going towards your next of kin anyway to help him with a financial investment. And I would say, besides going to college, like buying a house is probably, assuming you go to college for something good anyway, buying a house, like a good house, that's not just like out in the ghetto, as long as you're not in Detroit buying a house, right?
You grow dope in a car
Yeah.
that you live in.
I
Well,
would
then you should
say,
just buy yourself a house. Buy another one. Rent it out.
but if she wanted to do that, I'd understand again. Be like, oh, well, I'm putting this on towards my rental house to make me even more money in the future. Which
No. Not for the ungrateful stepchild, for yourself.
That's what I'm saying. If you wanted to buy, if the current OP wanted to like, I'm making a down payment on a rental house I'm gonna buy. I understand again. She put this money in here to give it to someone else to help make a financial investment, right?
Now hold on. Who are you siding with here? I don't think you've clearly stated this.
I'm gonna say no assholes here. I'm not siding with anyone because I'm like I could understand the stepdaughter, right? She put this money in there for a financial investment, and now her daughter died, and you're supposed to treat your stepkid as like your actual daughter, right? Yes, no. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
So if her other daughter just like, oh, I'm gonna be a housewife. Can you help me like put this 25 grand towards buying our house because it's gonna go up in value over time? I'm sure she would say yes, right? If she didn't, then fine. But like, I would say this is a fair enough assessment, right?
But it sounds like they're trying to find a way to like honor their daughter that died somehow in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Maybe she stepped on a nail and got canicifilades and like dropped dead.
Got in a car accident.
She got in a car accident.
Oh. Then I imagine they're donating the money to like.
Also, like it seems to be fairly recently, so maybe that contributes. Yeah, October 19th. So that's like.
Yeah.
Not even
she's pretty
6 months
emotionally.
ago.
Yeah, I'm sure she's still emotional about it, but
Yeah, that's definitely got something to do with it. I think.
Then I'd imagine they're putting money into like texting and driving charities.
Or drunk driving or
no,
whatever.
No, they said that she cared about the environment, so it was gonna be like an environmental
So like the donate
charity.
$1 and you get to plant a tree.
Something like that, yeah.
Oh fuck it, plant more trees.
Which I'm not opposed to planting more trees, but
25K. That's 25,000
she saved
trees.
up this money to give it to her next of kin to help him out with a financial investment, right?
So you don't care about the environment?
That's not what I'm saying, but that's not the purpose of this money. Well, number one,
that is the purpose of the money.
I'll have
now.
you know, I use Tab for a cause, right?
Yeah, fuck you. Put you in a box over the river.
I'm getting sent over the river.
End of the story.
No.
Final judgment. End of
Oh
podcast.
man, I got sent
We're
over
done.
the
We didn't have
river.
an intro. See you later, guys.